Good evening, classmates and professor. Thank you for this opportunity. This is the Criminal Justice Capstone Project, Unit 7. First, I want to say condolences to the family and all those who was injured during the 2013 Boston bombing.
Could you tell me some background information on the suspects?
The suspects were Islam. They had the religion of Islam. They was located in Russia, moved here, and their plan was to destroy American lives. They were very radical in their faith. They hated American customs. They hated American traditions. They hated the American Constitution. They hated everything about America. And when they arrived here, they wanted to destroy lives and have a tragedy that would be talked about even to this day. That was their mission, to destroy the lives of the American people during the 2013 Boston bombing.
What did law enforcement do to combat the situation?
Law enforcement played a great major role, not just the local police, but other agencies participated in the gathering of information. They also secured the crime scene. They helped um, anybody that was injured during that time. They also rescued people who were injured and took them to the hospital. And because of law enforcement, nobody died that went to the hospital, and that's something that needs to be discussed and talked about. Law enforcement didn't panic under pressure. Law enforcement responded in an urgent way very quickly to try to not only rescue the people that was injured but also capture the suspects. Law enforcement played a great role. FBI agents and other local agencies participated, and they worked together to find the suspect of Tamlin and his brother.
How can future attacks be prevented?
Future attacks can be prevented by law enforcement having laws and ensuring that the laws is already enforced by teaching other lower ranking officers how to combat crime, and also how to not panic during difficult situations. Um, it can also be prevented by um, knowing who the suspects are. Stuff like this can be prevented by not allowing terrorists to leave our surveillance. And we can do a better job with just participating in capturing terrorists and also terrorist acts. With technology today is very useful because everybody is recording, and it's full of online evidence, and it's hard for suspects to get away due to surveillance cameras, tapes, cell phones, or any type of advanced technology.
How were the victims of the Boston bombing affected?
A few died, but over 250 were wounded. Um, a lot of the victims, it was a tragedy that day. Victims did die, but also there was some that was rescued, and the victims also participated in helping capture the suspects. Victims played a major part. Like I said, everybody worked together, and when everybody worked together, the suspects was captured immediately. Whether it was through surveillance or victims who were updating photos of the brothers to police officers, victims played a part. Everybody played a part. Even though there was a time of panic, it was also a time of urgency, and everybody played a part to capture the suspects during the 2013 Boston bombing.
Did the medical staff do their job? And what did they do?
That's a great question. The medical team were already established during the Boston Marathon. I think it was 1,500 nursing professionals that was there during that time. Just a case of an emergency such as this. The medical team, when that happened, when the first bomb went off and then the second bomb went off, the medical team, the healthcare professionals and doctors, they all were there in that time to help the injured and also to keep people um, from panicking to an extreme. The medical team, medical staff, professionals, they calmed the situation down. They also secured the crime scene and they did not allow the injured to be further injured. They took them to the hospital, and all of them are still alive.
How did surveillance help in the search for the suspects?
Surveillance helped when the the prior to that, Russian intelligence allowed FBI agents and other agencies of intelligence. They informed them that these Russian brothers were radical. They had a radical faith, and they was on surveillance. And they warned the American people, I mean the American government, that these suspects were dangerous. And the FBI had them on surveillance during the 2013 bombing. During that time, the FBI agents uh, thought that they stood out due to the fact that when the bombs went off, the suspects did not show any type of fear towards the incident, and they stood out. The FBI agents called them black hat and white hat. They had backpacks, and surveillance captured all of that. And they were with that surveillance tape, they were able to capture the suspects. They was able to identify the suspects. And the media played a part with that also by informing the public of the incident. It was all on television, radio stations, newspapers. Everybody knew about the 2013 Boston bombing, and surveillance helped in a way that it captured the suspects and it helped identify them with the help of surveillance.
Wow, this whole thing is very interesting. Thank you for that. Do you have any last words?
Again, I want to say condolences to the family and all those who were in that time, who were afraid. And I know that during that time, it can cause individuals and society to be afraid to go to a major event. But because of law enforcement, the victim surveillance, you don't necessarily have to fear. You will be protected. But I understand if you have a fear concerning that matter. Um, Again, I say condolences to the family. And the 2000 Boston bombing, I will call it a life lesson during emergencies. It teaches us not to panic, not to react too quick in a negative way, but to remain positive, remain calm, and stay professional and continue to help those who are injured and continue to do your job, such as the FBI did with the surveillance, and everybody working together to capture terrorists. Thank you again.